Okay, let's just jump right into a really cool idea. Picture this. You go to sleep, and while you're dreaming, your brain is just soaking up new information. No studying, no flashcards, nothing. It sounds like something straight out of science fiction, right? But what if it wasn't?
I mean, come on, who hasn't dreamed of this? You pop in some headphones, play some Spanish lessons, drift off, and then you wake up basically fluent? It is the ultimate life hack. But is this total fantasy, or is there some reality to it?
Well, you're going to love this. The answer from actual sleep scientists is a huge yes, with, a few really important catches. Turns out this sci-fi dream has a real fascinating scientific basis, and we're about to get into it.
It's so real, it even has a cool, official-sounding name, Hypnopaedia. It's just a mashup of the Greek words hypno, for sleep, and paedia, for education. So yeah, this isn't some weird trend. It's a real field of study.
So how in the world does the brain pull this off? How does it turn into a secret classroom while we're completely knocked out? Well, let's pull back the curtain and see how it works.
First thing you need to know, the magic doesn't happen just anytime you're dozing. Nope, it's only during a very specific and super deep phase called slow wave sleep. This is the most restorative, heavy-duty sleep you get all night.
And what's really wild is how it happens. See, during this deep sleep, your brainwaves have these peaks and valleys. And researchers discovered that right at the peak of a wave, what they call an upstate, it's like the brain cracks open a little window to the outside world. It can actually listen, all without waking you up. So it basically works like this, in 4 simple steps. 1, you get into that deep, slow wave sleep. 2, your brain hits one of those peak activity moments, that upstate. 3, at that exact moment, a new piece of info is played, say a word pair like the English dog and the German Hund. And 4, bam, a new little connection starts to form right there in your brain.
Okay, that all sounds great in a lab, but you're probably wondering, did the people in these studies actually learn anything? Does it really work? Well, let's take a look at the data. And the results were pretty striking. When participants in one study woke up, they were tested. Now, if you were just randomly guessing the word pairs, you'd be right about half the time, right? 50-50 shot. But the people who learned in their sleep, they were hitting around 65% accuracy. That's a huge jump, and it proves real learning was happening while they were totally unconscious. But wait, it gets even cooler. The brain isn't just making a simple little audio recording in your head. The learning it does is actually way more sophisticated than that. So get this. Another study played people totally made up words while they slept. When they woke up, they weren't just tested on the sound. They were shown a picture of an object and could correctly match the made-up word they heard in their sleep to the right image. This is huge. It means the brain isn't just memorizing a noise, it's learning the abstract meaning behind the word.
Okay, now before you go and try to download a Learn French Overnight app, we gotta talk about the reality here. This science is incredible, for sure, but it is not magic, and there are some pretty big catches. Here's the most important catch: the type of memory you're forming. Sleep learning builds what's called implicit memory. Think of it like a gut feeling. You'll just have a sense that hund and dog go together. What it doesn't build is explicit memory. That's the kind you use to ace a test. So you wouldn't wake up and be able to say, the German word for dog is hund, but your brain would know it on a deeper level.
And there are other hurdles too. I mean, these studies use really precise lab equipment to find that perfect moment in deep sleep. Just playing audio on your phone all night, that's probably just going to wreck your sleep. Plus, right now, it seems to work best for things like language and music. Oh, and here's another interesting thing. Your age really seems to matter. One study found that kids were way better at learning new words in their sleep than adults were. It suggests their brains might be extra receptive to this kind of thing.
But even with all those limitations, the potential here is just absolutely thrilling. So what does the future of this look like? How do we get this amazing technology out of the sleep lab and, into our actual bedrooms?
Well, right now, it's all about those big, clunky lab machines. But it's easy to imagine a near future with smart headbands or earbuds that can figure out your sleep stage. And the ultimate goal? A device that creates a personalized learning playlist for you, playing the right sound at the perfect moment, all without messing up your sleep. Now, let's be really clear about something. This is never going to replace going to class or, actually studying. That hard work is always going to be essential.
But what Hypnopaedia could be is an incredibly powerful supplement, a tool to help reinforce what you learn when you're awake.
Just think about it for a second. Imagine practicing a new language during the day and then using your sleep to help lock in all that new vocabulary. Or practicing a new song on the piano and then letting your brain strengthen those connections while you dream. It could make learning so much more efficient.
So I guess that brings us to the final question, and I'm really curious what you'd say. If you had a perfect, ready-to-go sleep learning device tonight, what would be the very first thing you'd choose to learn?